Okay, this month I'm coming to you straight from my desk where I sit every day and look at the computer screen. I didn't know what I was going to talk about this month. How to throw a football, how to mow your grass, how to change the oil in your car. I thought I'd keep it to something related to my industry. So I'm going to talk to you about the things that the things my dad didn't teach me, the things I didn't learn in college, the things I didn't learn until I was in this industry for a long time, actually. And I'm also going to utilize some fancy software so you don't have to look at my face. I'll spare you that much on a Friday. So what I want to do, my goal, when you come and see me, when you become my client, I want to give you all the tools you need to make the right decisions or to help you make better decisions. I can sit there and tell you what to do, or I can educate you and let you make the best decisions. Because life is full of decisions, and you're the one in charge when it all comes down to it. And what I want to do is I want to talk about the bank. I am a bank. And a lot of people don't understand this when they look at their own situation. It gets too complicated. It gets too emotional. There's too many people involved. And I want to make it really simple so that you have a really simple structure when you think about day-to-day decisions with your money. And you really have two things. You have debts and you have assets. And here's some typical debts and assets that everybody has. And what you need to do is line them all up, figure out their value, figure out the rate of return or the cost of the interest, what they're appreciating at, and see if you're going forward. And there's a simple way to think about this. You think about how a bank makes money. And now that I work for a bank, I am exposed to this. A bank, you walk into a bank and they'll have two signs on the windows. One is if you open a savings account, they'll pay you 3%. If you want an auto loan, it'll cost you 8%. So Betty goes in there with her $10,000 and she says, I want to put this in the bank and make some money. They go, okay, great, we'll pay you 3%. And then Bob comes over to the next window and he says, hey, I want to go buy a truck. It's going to cost me 10 grand. And they say, great, here's 10 grand. Betty just gave it to us. We're going to charge you 8%. There's the hedge right there. That's how a bank makes their money. They borrow money from you at 3% and they give it to Bob at 8%, and they just made 5%. So when you're looking at your debts and your assets, are you going forward or backward? I see this all the time with my clients. For example, they'll have 20 grand sitting in the bank in a savings account that they don't want to touch because that's their kitty, that's the retirement, that's the working money. And then they have $20,000 in credit card debt, and they're making 3% on the savings account and paying 13% on the credit card debt, and they're going backwards. They're paying all the profit to the bank. That's what they want you to do. I mean, they know this game. So I would encourage you, whenever you're making a decision, is to think about the cost, the opportunity cost, and where you want your money working for you. In real simple terms, you want to pay as little as possible for your debts, the lowest rate possible, and your assets, you want to get as much return as possible. So if you have a stock account that's making you 8% and you have a credit card that's you're paying 12 or 20% on, you need to think about swapping things around so that you're moving forward in the world. And also, these kind of things might help you down the road if you're not thinking about them or putting it off. time goes by real quickly, and you don't want to be 62 years old and trying to figure out your retirement. The only other thing I have to talk to you about is should I refinance? It's an easy question that most people get. Here's a simple answer. You figure out the cost of what it costs to refinance, how much it's going to save you a month. Say you go from 6% to 5%, it saves you $70 a month. The refinance costs $3,500. Divide it by the savings. In 50 months, you'll break even. So in 4 years, 4 months, you'll actually start realizing the $70 a month. If you took that loan to term, 310 more months, you'd save $21,000. It's not difficult math, but if you know you're not going to be in the house for 4 years, then don't do it. That's all I have for you. Have a great weekend.